I don't think you've noticed outside, but it's cold. Really, really cold. And what I love when it's cold is some really great comfort food. I have some vegetable stew here. I'm going to show you how to make it. It's really good. And I've also got some cornbread whoopie pies as well. But let's start down here at the very beginning. For my stew, I've got 1 pound of fresh tomatoes. What I'm going to do is peel them. You simply peel a tomato by cutting a little X in the bottom of it just like that, dropping it into boiling water for about 30 to 45 seconds. When you bring it out, the skins just peel off just like that. So you're going to do that with a pound, slice those up when you're done. And then in my pot already, right here, I've got 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil with about 2 cups of onions. That's going already. To that, I'm going to add 3 celery stalks and 3 carrots as well. They've been nicely sliced up. I'm going to stir that for a good 3 to 4 minutes so they get nice and tender. And then on top of that, I'm going to add some garlic that I've chopped up, along with about 1/4 of a pound of portobello mushrooms that I've also chopped up. Give all that about 10 to 15 minutes so they get all nice and blended together. I'm going to spice it up with about 2 teaspoons of oregano that goes in there, 1 teaspoon of salt, and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Get that going, smooth and blended. And then on top of that, I'm going to add 2 cups of vegetable stock. Get that going. I'm going to add 1 cup of wine. This is really important. Make sure you get a good wine in there as well, because you want that flavor to come through. And I'm going to add 1 cup of water as well. Bring all that to a boil, and once it's fully boiling, you're going to put in there those tomatoes that you've chopped up, nice and peeled, along with 3 tablespoons of a tomato paste. That goes in there, blend that up, bring that back to a boil again, and then I've got 2 pounds of russet potatoes that I have peeled and chopped and cubed, about 1-inch cubes. Those go in there. And then I'm going to add to that as well some cannellini beans that I've peeled, that I've actually drained and rinsed. And I've also got 1 little yellow squash that goes in there as well. I'm going to bring all that up to a simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes so everything is nice and blended together. And then the last minute, I'm going to add about 4 ounces of fresh spinach as well. That's going to wilt down, get all blended together. Once that happens, it's going to look like this gorgeous bowl right here, nice and hot and flavorful. You're going to take this, get a gorgeous little beauty shot right here, pour that into the bowl, and on top of that I'm going to add just a tiny bit of fresh parsley. Isn't that gorgeous? Now along with that, what I've also made today is I've actually made some cornbread, and I took my regular cornbread recipe, which is jalapeno cheese cornbread. I made little tiny versions of it. This is my whoopie pie pan, and to make these you have to sort of dial down the recipe that I had before. This makes about 20 to 24 of these little tiny guys like that. They look like this when you're done. And you can eat them just as little tiny bits of cornbread, which is fine, you know, nice and tasty and also healthy. But if you want to sort of amp up the flavor a little bit, what I did was I took some fresh cheddar cheese, a little bit of mascarpone cheese, and some buttermilk and cream cheese, and I mixed that together, and I actually took it and put it inside of my little Ziploc pack there, and I put that in there and made tiny little whoopie pies as well. So that makes it a flavorful combination. And one last thing to remember, if you make a huge pot of this stuff, separate it all into individual, like 2 serving things, put them in your freezer, so you've got a great little thing for you to take home, take to work, and that sort of thing. Anyway, as always, our recipes are on our website at nbcchicago.com. Just do a search for Wayne Johnson, and you'll find that in all of my recipes.
I think